So, herzlich willkommen wieder zurück an eure Hobbydetektive da draußen. Ich bin's wieder, euer Foli, mit einem neuen Let's Play Noire, Part 15. Die nackte Stadt. Und ich würde einfach mal sagen, wir starten einfach gleich los. Wie gesagt, die letzten Fälle waren nicht so berauschend. Ich hoffe, dass ich irgendwann mal ein bisschen höher steige. So, wir setzen natürlich fort. Und wie gesagt, herzlich willkommen nochmal zum Crime Friday hier auf Folis Game House. Wie gesagt, jeden Freitag ein Action- und Crime-Spiel auf jeden Fall, also Detektivspiel oder irgendein Actionspiel, was freitags kommt. Samstag haben wir natürlich unseren Sci-Fi Mystery Day. Da wird natürlich präsentiert alles, was so ein bisschen Fantasy-mäßig ist, was ein bisschen Sci-Fi ist, also alles, was so Science-Fiction zu tun hat. Kommen dann die Games. Oder Horrorspiele auf jeden Fall. Alles, was so ein bisschen, ja, Mystery erscheint. Ja. Wie gesagt, Freitag ist immer Crime Friday hier bei Frohes Game House und Sonntag sind halt eben so Multiplayer oder Uno zum Beispiel. Irgendwas, welche Gesellschaftsspiele auf jeden Fall, die ich mit den Jungs zusammen zocke. Kann auch mal hin und wieder auf Fußball kommen. Haben wir mal angefangen, so eine eigene Saison aufzubauen. Leider hat es das nicht so festsässig geworden. Leider. Schade eigentlich. Hätte mich eigentlich nochmal riesig drüber gefreut. Aber dem ist wohl nicht so. War wohl wenig Interesse da. Auch von den jeweiligen, die mitgemacht haben. Egal. So, in Zukunft wird auf jeden Fall noch einiges mehr auf dem Kanal werden. Hier auf YouTube oder auf Twitch. Ihr findet uns natürlich auch auf Facebook und Instagram. Und am selben Namen Folis Game House. Ich bin euer Foli und ich würde sagen, wir starten einfach jetzt mal los. Let's Play Noire, Part 15, die nackte Stadt. Viel Spaß dabei und gute Unterhaltung.
.187 at 5810 Murata Avenue. Homicide wants you over there. The coroner thinks the broad was whacked using the army morphine. Don't say anything, Roy. Just get over there.
What's with that getup of yours, anyway? I should start introducing us as Detective Earl, and this is my science teacher, Mr. Phelps.
Your interest in my appearance is starting to get me worrying.
Like it or not, we're a dysfunctional couple now. People judge me with you on my arm same way they would a fat broad in the 5 o'clock shadow.
I really hope you're joking, Roy.
Ich renn vor dir weg, ich renn vor dir weg, ich renn vor dir weg.
I'm going to memorize your name.
Hey, Central Unit. Citizen reports suspicious activity on a trolley car on Fountain Avenue. Stand by for further information. Any Central Unit?
Mensch, jetzt Kinder nochmal, Junge.
Car 11 King, go ahead with the further. LAPD, ma'am. Are you all right?
That lowlife! That filthy lowlife!
What happened?
I was standing ready to get off and I heard a click. His camera. That pervert took a picture of my... up my...
Which way did he go?
There! That's him! Right there!
Ah, fuck.
ist ein guter Einstieg zum...
Go on, Phelps, get after that creeper!
Zu diesem, ja, würde ich mal sagen, zu diesem Part auf jeden Fall von der Serie. Passend zur Naked City. Ist aber leider nur eine Nebenmission.
Hit him! Clear this asshole off the road! Hit him, Cole! Spin him out!
Show me your hands! You're under arrest for public indecency.
Oh, Christ.
So, der kleine Einstieg. Jetzt fahren wir mal zum Hauptfall. Von 40 in Straßenbrechen aufgelöst. So.
You idiot!
Du fährst gleich selber, mein Freund.
This car cost me a fortune, you moron!
Mach keinen Wind.
It's much more fun with the siren on, Phelps.
Do you ever shut up?
Can we try not to kill anyone?
Officers need help, Hollywood and Highland. Hollywood and Highland officers need help. 211 in progress and shots fired. Unit to handle code 3, identify.
There goes a week's wages.
What the hell? Christ!
Do I tell you how to drive?
Mord-Tatort 2:26 Uhr PM.
Second floor. Apartment 6. In the back.
Thanks.
Second floor. Muss nach oben.
Bukowski, you made homicide.
That I did. Good to see you, Phelps.
You two want a hug? Or can we get on with it?
Relax, Rusty.
26 years old, fashion model. Found in the tub by the cleaning lady, Mrs. Reynoldson. She called it in.
We heard Carruthers thinks...
Carruthers likes to make work for people. Overdose of sleeping pills. Falls asleep in the tub. Rest in peace. Case closed.
Here, here. Mal is 100% that it's murder.
Do you mind if I take a look around?
Sure. Go right ahead. Phelps?
Mal, we've had a look around. Rusty thinks it's a waste of time. What's your theory?
Come on, Mal. Tell us why we were dragged down here.
If the victim was alive when she entered the tub, water would have entered her lungs. The water is violently churned in the windpipe as she drowns. The result is that a lot of foam is generated. This foam is found at the mouth and nostrils in almost all cases of real drowning. Notice anything about our Vic?
May I took a look?
Sieht ziemlich jung
You're my
aus.
guest.
So, dann gucken wir uns mal die Lady ganz genau
Take a
an.
closer look at her head and neck.
Her neck is bruised pretty badly.
Starke Druckstellen. Könnten Würgemerkmale sein. So.
Bruising on the forearms, and these look like bite marks.
Very good.
Very unusual ring.
Ja, das ist
Could be
richtig.
wrong, but it looks like a black sapphire. The eyes are a classic sign of morphine, and the bruises tell their own story.
Schwarzer Saphirring.
I think one man held her down and another held her arm and injected her. They put her in the bath to try to cover it as a drowning.
And spread a trail of barbiturates.
Take a look around outside on your way out and see if you can find the syrettes. It would make my theory.
And morphine would have been very quick, and there wouldn't have been much of a struggle.
Okay, so find two guys who recently bought syrettes and weren't junkies, and you might be onto something.
Don't think this is any use to us.
Das glaube ich auch. Das hatten wir schon. Ich dachte da irgendwas bei ihm, aber...
Quality English smoking jacket. I don't know anyone under 45 who would wear one.
Okay. Was sind Tabletten?
Looks like barbiturates. Barbiturates. What else is rattling around in this thing? We should speak to her doctor. Prescribing both drugs would make her life a roller coaster.
Das hat man schon.
It doesn't appear to be connected.
Ich mit dem Nudelholz einer drüber?
I don't think this is going to help us.
Na gut. Oh ja, vielleicht eine Vermutung.
No good to me. This is all top end of town stuff. Gives us somewhere to look. There's been a modeling assignment.
Bei der Dienstagleistung nach Gesellschaft. Frag nach Miss Kendall. The Randall.
It's a place to start. Beautiful girl. The clothes certainly aren't from the Sears catalog. I'm Detective Phelps. I'm here to try and help Julia. Do you mind answering some questions?
Virginia Reynoldson, I'm just so shocked. I feel like there's something I should be doing, someone I should call.
We can make those calls, ma'am. Who needs to be notified?
That's just it. I don't know. Miss Julie doesn't have any family in town. Someone has to set her affairs in order. Mr. Henderson, maybe? Who else is there? I don't know.
If you give the details to the other detectives, ma'am, they can try and get in contact. Was Miss Randall depressed about something? Upset?
No more than normal.
Spielen wir jetzt heute mal gut oder
She wasn't mad at anyone in particular.
No, men were usually besotted with Miss Julia, not the other way around. I don't think Miss Julia was ever in love with anyone.
Aha. Hatte ich mir schon fast gedacht gehabt.
Did Miss Randall have many friends visit?
I'm not sure. I only come around twice a week.
Men friends, Mrs. Reynoldson. Spill it.
I will not spread gossip about Miss Julia. She was very nice to me.
I don't care if she was the Virgin Mary, sister. Who was she humping? You changed the sheets.
You're disgusting. If you're going to take that tone, I won't answer any more questions.
What was it like working for Miss Randall?
Perfectly fine, officer.
You're hiding something, Mrs. Reynoldson. There's something about Julia's past that you don't want to tell me.
And how do you come to that conclusion, young man? What makes you think I know anything about her past?
You're off the hook. For now. Mrs. Reynoldson, it seems like there's something you want to tell me.
She was very high-strung. Lovely one moment and screaming at you the next. She wanted it all, and she wanted it damn quick. Of course, being so beautiful, it seemed like she was going to get it. Not the way it's turned out, though, is it?
Thanks, Mrs. Reynoldson. You've been very helpful. One of the other detectives will take your statement, and then you can go home.
Schade, dass man seine Nummer befragen kann.
Stefan, Rusty, we'll take a look around outside and then follow up these leads. Can you get some guys to run down the jacket?
You think Carruthers has called it right?
He rarely gets it wrong.
I don't know. I'm with Galloway. I've met enough girls in my time who can't handle their dope.
Briefkasten oder irgend sowas in der Richtung? Nix, oder? Das ist schon traurig. Kriegen die denn keine Post oder was? Warte mal, so ein Auto sind wir auch noch nie gefahren.
Bukowski, Galloway, quite the little reunion in there. Almost brought a tear to my eye.
They're good police.
How would you know? You got...
Look out!
Ja,
How would you know? You got promoted so fast you barely had time to learn their names. Let me fill you in. Bukowski's a pushover. Galloway's a drunk.
You could learn a thing or two from both of them.
Please. They couldn't work a vice case if their life depended on it.
I don't see why they'd be any better or worse at it than me.
I noticed you said better. Hubris disguised as humility. Kind of your trademark, don't you think?
Why do you always twist everything? Galloway's got nothing to prove. He's been on homicide for years.
And he's welcome to it. You're a terrier, Phelps, and that's what I need. Not some old bulldog who can't get up a flight of stairs without cuff.
Kann denn sein Gerede nicht mehr hören. So. Dr. Stonemans Praxis. 2:52 PM. So, absolutely fireproofed. Das Gebäude wollte ich schon immer mal reingehen.
Here, Stoneman, Office 505.
5. Stock. Gibt's ja bestimmt keinen Fahrstuhl oder sowas, ne?
I swear, if we locked up every doctor in this town, Vice would be able to work half days.
Yes, sir, your name?
LAPD. We'd like to see Dr. Stoneman.
Dr. Stoneman is with a patient. Would you like to wait?
No, we wouldn't. Tell him we want to see him now.
There's no need to be rude.
Save it, sister.
Dr. Stoneman, I have some gentlemen from the LAPD here to see you.
Send them in, please. I'll see this patient again after they've left.
Your investigation is much more important than my sciatica. I'm just in pain here. Leave me alone. Hurts to walk, hurts to sit down, and now I got policemen riding me like I'm a criminal. Get lost.
Dr. Stoneman, we are investigating the death of one of your patients, Julia Randall.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
Do you mind if we ask you some questions about Ms. Randall?
Not if it doesn't compromise doctor-patient privilege, Detective.
So, dann fragen wir ihn mal aus. Die Ruhe selbst.
How well did you know Miss Randall?
Barely at all. She'd only been a patient 6 months or so.
She was disturbed, though.
Well, not in the conventional sense. She had trouble sleeping.
You wrote Julia Randall a prescription for Benzedrine. How can you account for that?
Miss Randall was in the fashion business. She wanted to control her weight.
Benzedrine is addictive, as I'm sure you know, Doctor.
As I warned her, but she was determined. She said she needed it to control her appetite.
Sounds like you knew her pretty well.
I knew the line of work she was involved in.
That'll be all for now, Dr. Stoneman. We'll be in touch.
I don't think so. Doesn't tell me anything.
Nix. Stellst mal die Fensterputzen, sieht aus bei dir, hier rum das läuft ja.
The old boy's lying.
About what?
I don't know. He looked relieved when you said she was dead. That's a strange reaction to have to the death of a young patient.
Have you noticed how croakers only pull out the physician-patient privilege card when they got something to hide?
There are certain things people have a right to keep private.
Until it gets in the way of police work.
What are you doing?
Ich kürze ab. Ich hoffe es zumindest. Kleidungsgeschäft, die Asine? Die Asine? 3:10 PM. Na dann, lass uns mal reingehen.
Well, hello. What can I help you with today?
LAPD, ma'am.
I hope I haven't done anything wrong.
No, ma'am. We're making some inquiries about Julia Randall. Does she work here?
No, I had to let her go. Is she in some sort of trouble?
She was found dead this morning. How long had Julia worked as a model?
Well, she worked in New York before coming here. She was a very beautiful girl.
rümpft mir den Augen nicht.
Could you tell us why you let Miss Randall go?
Husbands sometimes come in here with their wives. When Julia Randall modeled, the husbands were often more interested in her than they were their wives' dresses. The wives weren't happy, and neither was I.
Did she have any close friends here?
Actually, yes. Heather Swanson. Would you like to speak with her?
I'd like that very much. Please don't inform her about Miss Randall's death.
Very well, officer. Heather, these gentlemen are from the LAPD.
I'm Detective Phelps. This is Detective Earl. I understand that you worked with Julia Randall, Miss Swanson?
Yes. Julia helped me get my job here. She's not in any kind of trouble, is she?
She's a hellraiser, isn't she? Lives a fast life.
Oh, no. Maybe Mrs. Stanley would call her that, but I wouldn't. She's full of life, wonderful company.
That's a lovely engagement ring.
Do you like it? Henry gave it to me.
I'm very interested in engagement rings. Do you mind if I take a closer look? That's some pearl, Miss Swanson. Would have cost Henry a fortune. He must really love you. How did you meet Julia?
I was introduced through my fiancé, Henry Arnett.
Henry is your beau. Tell us about it.
Yes, he is. Henry has a fashion business. He and Julia have been friends for years.
Are Miss Randall and Mr. Henderson engaged?
Who's he?
She was wearing a sapphire engagement ring. Someone must have given it to her.
She never mentioned a man named Henderson to me.
That's all for now, Miss Swanson. Could you ask your fiancé to visit Hollywood Police Station? It would be very helpful to our inquiry.
Now, wait a moment. I don't think I'll pass on that message until you tell me why you're asking all these questions.
Julia Randall was found dead this morning.
What? Oh, no. Oh, I can't believe it. She was so full of life.
Tja. Die Betonung liegt auf sie war.
Phelps, 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Messages for me, please.
Yes, Detective. The coroner's been asking to speak to you. I can connect the call if you like.
Please, thank you. Al?
Cole, can you get over here? I just finished the autopsy.
Sure thing, Mal. We'll be right over.
Nein.
Nice move not telling old Sweet Lips in there about her friend taking the big jump till we were half out the door. Very slick.
I figured we'd get more out of her that way.
You're learning, Phelps. We'll make a vice cop out of you yet. Look where you're going!
See him? I saw his picture in the paper. He worked that case with that lady.
Hollywood Zentralklinik, 3:26 Uhr PM.
Cole, Roy, I have some information for you.
You're the only person enjoying this, Mal. Get on with it.
The bruising confirms 2 sets of hands, so we have 2 killers. Death was caused by heart failure due to an overdose of morphine.
Have you dragged us down here to gloat? We already heard your theory.
We agree that she was murdered.
Yes, of course.
I have something else to show you.
All right, Mal, what gives?
The dead guy's name is Jimmy LeBlanc, career burglar. He came in this morning. Someone stove his head in with a lump of 2x4.
So what? Good riddance.
I found 2 cigarettes in his jacket pocket.
Wow.
Hang on a minute, Roy. We're listening, Matt.
No sign of morphine use and no metabolized morphine in his blood. Scratch marks on his face.
Which could be from getting his head remodeled.
Time of death, Mal.
Maybe an hour or 2 after the Randall girl.
So you're saying Laughing Boy here could be one of our killers? That's a hell of a long shot.
Thanks, Mal. We'll check it out.
I found something else.
Ui, auch übel zugerichtet, der junge Kerl. Mein lieber Scholli, ey.
Sorry, I don't play.
I don't know if it's significant. His wallet was empty. The only other things he was carrying were the harmonica and the morphine. Carruthers. Yeah, he's here. I'll send him over. They have a guy called Henry Arnett in interview 2 for you next door. Let me know how you get on.
Sure, Mal. And thanks for the lead.
Sure, Mal. Thanks for the lead.
Mr. Arnett, I'm Detective Phelps. This is Detective Earl. Thanks for coming in.
Call me Henry. It's the least I could do. Terrible news about Julia.
How well did you know Julia Randall?
Vaguely. I'm in the clothing business, and Julia occasionally modeled for me.
Entweder lügt er gut.
And you were close?
We were friends.
Miss Randall's landlady said she was seeing an older man.
Could have been. I wasn't privy to all the details of Julia's private life.
Spill it, Henry. You know nothing about a man named Henderson?
Yes, you're right. Henderson, yeah. Very distinguished.
How about a first name, wise guy? An address, maybe?
I'm sorry, I don't. I think he lives somewhere out of town. Somewhere back east.
Ever heard of a Jimmy LeBlanc?
No. Should I have? Is he an entertainer or something?
I think you're lying. I think Randall was a high-priced hooker, and this Henderson character didn't want it to come out that he had been seeing her. I think he had LeBlanc and an accomplice bump her off. I think you know who Henderson is, and you're trying to conceal his identity.
I think you've been out in the sun too long without your hat. Prove that I know who Henderson is. I came down here to talk to you, to do the right thing, to try and help catch Julia's killers. And all I get is abuse. I'm not a criminal detective.
Heather told us that you were in fashion.
0 von 3, sehr gut.
That's right.
Mouthpiece tore strips off me at the grand jury. Case was thrown out. Now the DA wants my head.
Some kind of traveling salesman?
Once I got out of the Corps, I used my...
You were in the Marines?
Sure. I'm proud of it. The Fighting Sixth.
You were in the 6th Marines?
Yes. I was a captain.
Which company?
Various companies. We had a lot of casualties.
Which engagements?
Okinawa. A couple of other places.
That will be all for now, Henry. You've been very helpful.
That son of a bitch was never in the Marines. Why'd you let him off the hook?
Because we're giving him a couple of minutes before we start tailing him. Arnett is an amateur. We need to find out who killed the girl. Can you pass this on to Bukowski? Have him check the place out and go through his records.
Sure, I'll pass it on.
Thanks. Can you also have R&I run the records on a Jimmy LeBlanc and find out who was his last arresting officer? Have them get in touch via KGPL when they have some information.
He's in that car at the lights.
He was squirming like a worm in there. Don't you love it when they pull the war hero excuse? Actually, maybe you don't.
You got a pretty funny idea of what keeping a low profile means, Phelps.
I'd have expected a cad like Arnett to be a better liar.
Mal eine nette Verfolgungsjagd.
Where are you taking us, Henry?
That idiot never stepped foot in Okinawa.
He needs money and fast. Get in there and find out what he pawned. I'll stick with him, see how he intends to spend the money. Too much slack. Gotta get closer.
Hoof it, Phelps. I'll bring the car around when I'm done here.
Lass doch mal los. Die ist ja nicht wischt. Die wurden im Brand. Ey. Ist ehrlich mal, ganz ehrlich. Das geht immer ja nicht. Boah.
He needs money and fast. Get in there and find out what he pawned. I'll stick with him, see how he intends to spend the money. Move in. Can't risk losing the trail.
Hoof it, Phelps. I'll bring the car around when I'm done here.
Der ist da nicht erwischt, der ist da vorne ums Eck. Ei. Das kann ja nicht wahr sein, ey. Sowas Beklopptes, ey. Soll es jetzt zu nah ran sein oder zu nah ran bis... Ach, komm, hör auf. Also manchmal merkt man schon, dass es sehr hängt.
He needs money and fast. Get in there and find out what he pawned. I'll stick with him, see how he intends to spend the money. Too much slack. Gotta get closer.
Hoof it, Phelps. I'll bring the car around when I'm done here.
That's right, Mexico City. One-way ticket, please. Next available seat.
That would be 1 day from now. Is that okay?
It's going to have to be.
LAPD, the man who just came in here, he bought a ticket?
Yes, sir, to Mexico City, tomorrow night.
If you hear from him again, don't mention this conversation.
What have you got?
He bought a ticket from Mexico City, tomorrow night.
That's good, but this is better.
My God, it's Fabergé.
Should have seen the look on the pawnbroker's face when I told him to hand it over.
The guy who owned the joint thought it was worth at least 10 large for a cigarette case. Arnett only got 600 clams.
Aha.
Can you drive to this one?
All right, where to?
Jetzt lasse ich ihn mal fahren. Warte mal. Klingt das Telefon.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Can I help, Detective?
Phelps, badge 1247.
Achso, na gut, dann halt so.
How could I help, Detective?
Any messages?
Yes, Detective. Detectives Bukowski and Galloway request you return to Hollywood Station. They have information in the Julia Randall case.
Any luck with the arrest record check on Jimmy LeBlanc?
Yes, Detective. Jimmy LeBlanc's last arresting officer was Patrolman Fred Wallace. He's posted the Hollywood 9th Beat Sunset Boulevard between Gordon and Wilcox.
Thanks.
So, gucke an. Dann sind wir doch immer recht gut vorangeschritten. Moment, es geht gleich weiter. Jetzt muss ich erstmal zu meinem Kollegen rüber. Kollege, ist mir schon. Da ist er. Wo ist das Auto? Da drüben. Ach, ei. Bleibt er denn wieder? Na komm, trab an.
You can drive. You're behind the wheel. You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Sir, mein Freund.
A one-way ticket to Mexico. Old Henry's looking as guilty as a dog next to a pile of dog shit.
What's his motive?
I can think of a few, but I'd put my money south of the belt. One guy plus 2 dames always equals problems.
Geh mir aus dem Weg an.
Doesn't give me anything to go on.
Hier ist doch gar nichts, ja? Ich verstehe gar nicht warum. Das verstehe ich nicht. Warum das hier in einem Apartment? Es ist hier noch offen. Es gibt keinen Hinterhof. Nicht wirklich zumindest. Das gehört zum anderen Gebäude. Polizist da stehen. Der Polizist ist immer noch davor, gut. Keine Ahnung, was das hier noch zu tun hat. Ich frage nochmal, warum.
That lady cut up like the Dahlia.
Das ist schon merkwürdig. Na gut, dann müssen wir mal sehen, was wir irgendwie... Hier zeigt es aber nichts an. Sehr verwirrend.
You know the way. You can drive.
Jetzt bin ich ja mal gespannt, was die anderen zwei herausgefunden haben. An dem Fall kann ich mich überhaupt nicht mehr erinnern. Wie gesagt, ich habe schon mal gespielt gehabt.
Come on, let's give him a hand.
Right behind you, Wallace. Detective Phelps.
Wallace, go left. I'm going right after this little prick in the alley.
Reinforcements are on the way. Cease and desist. Motherfucker!
Brave for a dead man.
Throw out the guns.
Keep moving.
Weapons on the ground, now!
Move, I've got you.
Stay down. Stay in cover.
Clear me some space here. God damn it! You can't hear the call!
Kill it!
Thanks. Outstanding warrant, armed robbery. Knocked over a drugstore back there, and it looks like he brought his whole posse with him. Bad luck for them.
They're all yours now. We need some information.
Ever heard of a burglar goes by the name of Jimmy LeBlanc?
Sure. We nabbed Jimmy on a burglary beef a couple of years back. They cut through a music shop and into a jewelry store. He got 4 years. I miss his partner, though.
His partner?
Big guy. I had him cornered, and he picked up this huge display case and threw it out a plate glass window. Then he vaulted out of there like something out of Barnum and Bailey.
Got away.
I would have had him, except for LeBlanc yelling, "Run for it, Willie!"
And you think he was an acrobat of some sort?
More like a strongman, a wrestler, or a boxer, that kind of thing.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
You haven't done too badly yourself.
Willy! Dann gehen wir mal zum Willy, dem Boxer.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Fine. Where are we headed? You're suggesting LeBlanc is still working with Willie?
A strong man held down Randall while someone administered the morphine. Someone with muscle opened up LeBlanc's skull. Could be.
Ja, umso höher man steigt, umso länger werden die Fälle. Hollywood Polizeirevier. 6:32 p.m.
We caught up with Mao. He's given us the dope on LeBlanc.
He worked burglaries with a big guy. Goes by the name of Willie. He might be our killer. Can you work boxing gyms, the Y, promoters, that kind of stuff?
Since when have you started giving orders, Phelps? And where's the burglary angle? There was no sign of a...
That's where our net comes in. Next stop, we speak to Lacey about a list of recent burglaries.
Guy's a bum. His office is a front, and he's behind on the rent and his phone bill.
And he's skipping town tomorrow.
Let's get him in and beat it out of it.
Do you want to bring in the killer, Rusty?
You could be too smart for your own good, Phelps. We've been talking about that, haven't we, Roy? Stefan?
Finbar?
Sir, I need the contraband list. Items stolen over the last year.
Hang on, I'll dig out a copy for you. Here you go.
Thanks.
Is the cigarette case on there?
Aktuelle Einwurfliste. Ein wireless radio?
Julia Randall's ring. It's here. Even the engagement ring was purloined. Our net is a cad. Seems Julia wasn't the first bored society girl to hide her bennies in that pillbox. It's here. Arnett must be out of his mind trying to move this while under a murder cloud.
I thought this was such a nice area.
So you and Rusty have been having discussions. Anything you would like to tell me, partner?
Phelps, don't be so touchy. Rusty had his best ever clearance rate working with you. Even if the cases he worked on can't be discussed. We were just comparing notes. You're a Booneroo case man, Phelps. One of the best I've ever seen.
Thanks.
You gotta learn to take a compliment, Phelps.
A hopped-up model, a cat, and a circus freak. Only in L.A.
Fairy tales of the rich and famous.
More like pathetic tales of the desperate to be rich and famous. Junkie Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Arnett, LeBlanc, and Willie.
Don't you go putting the pieces together again before they fit, Phelps. Listen to your old pal Rusty. You're paying for every last scratch.
I wouldn't call him that if I were you.
What do you care? It doesn't sound like you're the top of his... There goes a week's wages!
He gives everyone a hard time. That's just how he is.
Whatever gets you through the day, Cole. Goddamn maniac!
Full of advice, aren't you?
So noch eine Abkürzung. Weshalb?
That was a tax-paying citizen. You just bounced off the fucking hood, Phelps.
Open your eyes!
Nice Strom, Wohnsitz. 6:58 p.m.
LAPD, ma'am. Is Mrs. Eavestrom in?
She is. Would you follow me, sir?
I am Mrs. Eastrom. How may I help you?
We appear to have recovered some stolen goods that belong to you, ma'am.
Yes, of course. That terrible burglary. Would you like something to drink?
No, thank you, ma'am. We have some questions, if you don't mind.
Why would I mind, young man, if you are returning 43 pieces of my property?
Okay, before we get down to that, I'll have a scotch. Thanks, straight up.
Maria, can you get the detective a drink, please?
Can you describe to us what was stolen?
It would be easier to describe what wasn't stolen, Detective. A priceless tiara that has been in the family for 50 years. A Fabergé cigarette case that was worth $25,000.
We recovered a black sapphire ring.
A beautiful piece. It belongs to my daughter.
What?
What can you tell us about the burglary?
That terrible night, at least a year ago. But let's not go into that. Let's talk about what you've recovered.
I get the sense that you're worried about something, Mrs. Eastrom.
I have already received the insurance claim, Detective. Is there any way we could keep the return of these items discreet?
That's about it for now, Mrs. Eastrom. The department will get in touch and let you know how you can recover your valuables.
You have only mentioned a few of the items that have been stolen, Detective. What else has been recovered?
You see, Phelps? That's why you get the drinks in early.
Hello, Mother. Hello, detectives.
Uh-huh.
What is going on?
We'd like to ask exactly the same question.
You have met my daughter?
This morning at work. Oh, mother and father divorced. I took my father's name.
The detectives recovered some of the things that were stolen, darling.
Well, what did you find?
A sapphire ring on the corpse of Julia Randall.
What are you talking about?
Your engagement ring, Miss Swanson. Would you be surprised to know that it was part of the proceeds of a burglary?
That's an outrageous allegation.
Yes, it is. I suggest we go straight to Henry Arnett's place and sort this mess out. We're missing something here. Arnett is obviously arranging the burglaries.
That's my fiance you're making scurrilous accusations about.
And Randall was obviously his partner.
But neither of them are the type to creep apartments.
You're being ridiculous. Both of you. There's a very good explanation for all of this.
Put a sock in it, sister. You're being played for a patsy and you're not even smart enough to see it.
What's wrong with you?
Wieso wird mir das scheiß Apartment noch eingezeigt? Was fehlt hier noch? Aber da kommen wir doch gerade her, oder nicht?
I hope you got some money.
So mit Punkt einfach. Also funktioniert da natürlich doch, so wie bei GTA. Ist ja auch von den Machern von GTA das Spiel, aber ist schon ein paar Jahre alt. Hat schon ein paar Jahre auf dem Buckel. Ich glaube 2014 ist es damals
That's about it for now, Mrs. Eastrom. The department will get in touch and let you know how you can recover your valuables.
You have only mentioned a few of the items that have been stolen, Detective. What else has been recovered?
You see, Phelps? That's why you get the drinks in early.
Hello, Mother. Hello, detectives. What is going on?
We'd like to ask exactly the same question.
You have met my daughter?
This morning at work. Oh, mother and father divorced. I took my father's name.
The detectives recovered some of the things that were stolen, darling.
Well, what did you find?
A sapphire ring on the corpse of Julia Randall.
What are you talking about?
Your engagement ring, Miss Swanson. Would you be surprised to know that it was part of the proceeds of a burglary?
That's an outrageous allegation.
Yes, it is. I suggest we go straight to Henry Arnett's place and sort this mess out.
Partner kann jetzt nicht fahren, dann fahren wir.
This car cost me a fortune, you moron!
We're missing something here. Arnett is obviously arranging the burglaries.
That's my fiancé you're making scurrilous accusations about.
And Randall was obviously his partner.
But neither of them are the type to creep apartments.
You're being ridiculous. Both of you. There's a very good explanation for all of this.
What is socking it, sister? You're being played for a patsy and you're not even smart enough to see it.
Son of a bitch!
Ja, diese blöde Bank.
Are you crazy?
So, Arnett Apartment 7:28 PM-Zeit. So.
Come on, sister. Let's find out who your fiancé really is.
Welcome, sir. I'm sorry, are you a resident?
LAPD detectives. We're here to speak to Henry Arnett.
Oh, Mr. Arnett? Apartment 30. You can take the lift.
Thank you.
Well, isn't this just nice and awkward?
Stop! LAPD!
Don't kill him, Cole. This guy's our case. Go on.
Put your hands in the air! Give it up! LAPD!
Oha, jetzt geht das wieder los. Ja, soll ich rüberspringen oder was?
Stop!
Don't kill him,
LAPD!
Cole. This guy's our case. Go on, get
Put your
after
hands
him.
in the air!
Kann er fliegen oder was?
Give it up! LAPD! Don't make me chase you!
Looks like he got you good, Phelps.
Yeah, he really packs a wallop. How did I get back here?
Under your own steam, miraculously. You came in through the window, said hello, and then keeled over.
How was Arnett?
He's coming round, too. He's all hopped up. Good time to get some answers.
You missing something, Henry? You told Heather you're honeymooning without her? Vacheron Constantine. That's an extremely expensive watch, Henry.
A graduation present from my parents.
Not much help. Nope. I doubt it. Seems irrelevant.
Ja, das haben wir schon.
Probably nothing.
We know all about the jewelry ring. You and Randall and LeBlanc and Willie doing the legwork.
I'm in the fashion business.
Was hat er gesagt?
Your office is empty and you're behind on the rent.
Times are tough.
Why did Reed and LeBlanc kill Julia Randall?
I wanted to stop, to get out of that life. I was going to marry Heather if she'd have me. Julia told the others that they were out, that she was going to create a new gang.
You wanted Julia Randall out of your life.
Why would he want that? Julia was our friend.
Julia was his hump, sweetheart. They were the Bonnie and Clyde of society burglars. He met you and realized he didn't have to steal anymore. He could just mooch from you. He needed Julia out of the way.
Julia was insatiable. She didn't care about anyone, not the least me. She was never going to go back to the poverty she came from. I wanted it to stop.
Who is Henderson and what is his involvement?
Tell them what you know, Henry. I'll stand by you if you'll only tell the truth.
There is no Henderson.
Tell me about your first burglary, and don't lie.
I can't remember. I don't keep a list of these things. No such person, Detective. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Henry Arnett, you are under arrest for burglary and for the murder of Julia Randall.
Henderson is Stoneman, all right? I'm not the guy you want. Go talk to the good doctor.
Oh, we will, knucklehead. Meanwhile, we're fitting you for convict stripes.
Wieso ist eigentlich immer, wenn ich losfahre, immer so viel Verkehr hier? Das kann doch nicht wahr sein, Mann.
I guess the wedding's off.
He only robbed her mother and killed her best friend. Cut the guy some slack.
So how does the doctor fit in?
That's what we're about to find. Phelps! That's what we're about to find out. Maybe we should ask him to give you a quick once-over. That meathead gave you one hell of a pasting.
I've had...
Christ alive, this is a nightmare!
I've had worse.
You should have seen yourself staggering back in there like a drunken sailor.
Next time you can take the runner, Roy.
I didn't box in the Marines, though, did I? This car cost me a fortune, you moron!
Should have never told you that.
What's wrong with you?
doctor could give us something to make this all better. Hang on a moment, sister. Tell him it's Henry Arnett. And tell him it's urgent.
I can't do that.
Tell him, or I'll charge you with obstruction of justice.
Doctor, I'm afraid Mr. Arnett is here to see you, and he says it's urgent.
Send him in.
I told you never to come.
Tell us the truth, Doctor.
I'm so glad you came. Prison will be better than insanity, and I'm already half insane with grief. Do you know that I loved her? I ruined my life for her, and yet I still love her.
Will you testify in court that Arnett and Randall did these robberies?
They organized the robberies. Julie would get the names of the guests attending my wife's parties. Didn't matter how much money I showered upon her, it was never enough. She never really cared for me.
Aha.
Doctor, I'm afraid you're under arrest.
Yep.
The practice. You'll call Dr. Gerard. No. Please don't cry. I want to see no one. Not my wife or my children, nor my friends. And I don't want a lawyer. Just lock me up and throw away the key. What have I done?
Didn't see that coming.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
I need an ambulance and the coroner immediately to the offices of Dr. Harold Stoneman, 1646 Ivor Street, Hollywood.
En route, Detective. You have a message. Detective Bukowski says the suspect is named Wilson Willie the Wolf Reed, former wrestler. Last known address is an apartment building at the corner of Hollywood and Vine. Detective Bukowski says to meet them there.
On our way. We have an address for the runner.
Let's try and wrap this up then.
Ab hinterher. Kürzesten Weg.
That old boy really fell for that broad.
She was incredibly beautiful.
Would you throw it all away for a woman?
Life has a way of making you pay for your pride.
You're quite the romantic, Phelps. Stick with the percentages. Broken hearts are for chumps.
You're talking from experience.
I certainly am. Oh, I like women as much as the next guy. As long as they're in their place and doing what they're told.
What are you doing?
Mensch, du Penner.
I hope you got some money.
Willys apartment, 1 Uhr AM.
He's around here somewhere. A big guy. Neighbors say he always wears basketball shoes and a cream jacket. And get this. The kids around here say he plays the harmonica.
Find a game well and have the commander set up a dragnet. We want the area closed off. We'll take this out of the street.
A harmonica-playing wrestler. That's a weird one. Think he knits as well?
Just keep your eyes open and your mouth shut. We don't want him to bolt on us.
Wait. Pull. You hear that?
Wilson Reed, LAPD, give yourself up.
Schlauf doch.
Hold it. He's got to be around here somewhere. No place to go unless he grew wings. There he is! Waste the son of a bitch!
Son of a bitch really picked this spot for it up here, didn't he? Julia Randall's folks are flying in from New York tomorrow to claim the body. I saw her on the slab. So perfect. Looked like she was made of porcelain. She really made an impression on me.
Julia had that impact on a lot of men.
Christ, it's cold. You guys did good work here today. Roy, I think you should buy your brother officers a drink.
Do you now? That's very generous of you, Lieutenant.
So, der Fall ist abgeschlossen. The Naked City. Die nackte Stadt. Gefundene Hinweise 14 von 16 Stück. Routinemäßig haben wir es natürlich abgeschlossen. Fahrzeugschaden nehmen wir mal raus. Sachschaden natürlich auch. Ein Hinweis auf das Morphion in Julas Apartment und Kurs hätte einen Lächeln ins Gesicht gehabt. Okay, gut. Aber wie gesagt, mit den Fragen hängen wir nur. 5 richtige Fragen von 16. Das ist eindeutig zu wenig. Weniger als die Hälfte. Da müssen wir auf jeden Fall beim nächsten Mal mehr machen. Aber, wie gesagt, ich bin auf heute raus. Und ich bin erstmal heute raus. So. Fallen mir langsam die Augen zu. Aber ich bedanke mich auf jeden Fall nochmal fürs Zuschauen. Und wir sehen uns beim nächsten Crime Friday hier bei Folies Game House wieder. Zu einer neuen Folge Let's Play Eleanor. Dann mit Part 16. Ja. Dann freue ich mich aufs nächste Mal. Ich bedanke mich, wie gesagt. Vielleicht vorab schon mal für eventuell Likes, vielleicht für Kommentare oder sogar Abos. Hier auf Twitch, Instagram, Facebook und YouTube. Ich bin raus, wünsche euch was. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Euer Foli. Ciao, ciao.